freestyle Libre. It was indeed that and more in Denver. A very controversial defeat for the Bills. They'll be talking about this play forever. Brandon Cooks with a catch that wasn't. Jaquan McMillan, the interception. The officials said Cooks did not complete the process of the catch. The call was upheld after review. The Broncos cash in with a game-winning kick. The season comes to a crashing end for Josh Allen and many other tearful Bills after the game. Dan, the call. Go.
I don't know what's a catch and what's not. Part of me sits here and goes, that looks like a catch by Brandon Cooks. And then part of me goes, I understand that the ball is like right when he hits the ground getting moved out by the defender. I guess my biggest question is, because by the rule, two things. One, a tie goes to the passing team. It certainly looks like a tie. And then also, how does the receiver make a football move on the ground? I don't know that answer.
The point is that someone had to catch it.
Right.
So in this case, if the ball had just popped out, I think we all agree it would not have been ruled a catch.
Would have been incomplete, right?
The catch. It would have been an incomplete pass. But because someone caught it, there's no they can't rule it an incomplete pass because someone had to catch it. In my opinion, if one person caught it first, it was Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is a catch. I don't care what you say. It's a catch. It's ripped out of his hand.
Yeah.
It's ripped out of his hands when he's on the ground.
Right.
Now, I don't like Brent. We talk about body language all day today. His body language is awful. Get up and fight. Like, no, that's my ball. If he did, it would have been hard for that referee to say it wasn't a catch, or they certainly would have looked at it differently. Instead, he's laying on the ground like a puppy, and he ends up getting the ball ripped out of it, and the official's like, well, hell, he doesn't even have the ball. Interception. It's easier to call for that official the way he called it. The other thing is, too, by the way, a lot of things been on the officiating and all that kind of stuff. Say what you want. If you're going to call pass interference against Denver, there were two opportunities right there.
No,
against Buffalo. There were two opportunities right there because, quite honestly, the corner's early on this one. Say what you want. But he is early on this call.
There's this play. Right, the McMillan play, but this is the one you're talking about. This is the one on Riley Moss that is not called.
That's another one.
And that's what you're saying is that if they didn't call this, then how they called the one on Taron Johnson in overtime seems extremely inconsistent.
Absolutely.
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent is the key word there. And quite honestly, even on the interception, the Brandon Cooks interception, that's what I call it, Brandon Cooks interception.
Right.
The DB was actually early on that one, too.
I'll just say that my heart is with you to the Bills Mafia. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep getting up off the mat after these losses. It's every single year it gets worse and worse. And in this case, because there is no doubt, watching that game with the naked eye, which was the better team on the field, and the better team did not win because they just handed the game away so many ways.
Buffalo is going to be sick to their stomach watching that tape. Yep. Because they are the better team and the better team lost. There's 8 plays where you sit there and go, self-inflicted wounds. I mean, the Cook fumble. This guy's the best back in football this year. He gives the ball away. That takes 3 points off the board. Now, it's a great hit by Denver, no question. Ball gets on the ground, they recover, but 3 points off the board. Is this the Josh fumble right before the half?
Yeah.
Josh can't do this. Okay. He knows he can't do this, but watch. Buffalo's there to recover the fumble, and they don't. Their big guy doesn't get on the ball, and they don't. That's 3 points once again. This sack fumble, that defensive end's getting double-teamed, Shefty. He's getting double-teamed. That's 3 points on the board. Josh, this is a missed throw. Put more air on it, it's a touchdown. And so these self-inflicted wounds, they're going to make Buffalo's going to be sick.
And that, to me, is one of the issues. We're going to remember that game for the Brandon Cooks play. And people are going to talk about how officials blew that call, inconsistent, who had the ball. The fact of the matter is, Buffalo had 5 turnovers. They shouldn't have even been in that position to have a call decide the game, and it did. We're always going to remember that play. Sure. You're going to think of it like, did Dez catch it? He caught it or not? It's going to be the same thing. But when you do that, it would also be worthwhile to point out that the Bills had 5 turnovers on the road. And if we look at the records of teams who turn over the football that much in the postseason, they don't win.
And they had a turnover that they got down in scoring area. They force a fumble. They don't get the fumble because they jump off sides, and it gives Denver points instead of them getting possession.
Get a take from D. Wood. Your thoughts?
Listen, all of that is great. I'm moving this thing. When do we start looking at Sean McDermott here? When do we start looking at Sean McDermott? Like we're at, listen, Buffalo dominated the AFC East. New England is now back. They have nothing to show for their time dominating the division, okay? Like, all of these games where they lost, this is the first one where Josh Allen, in my opinion, has definitely played a factor in why they lost the game. But previous to that, your Superman was Superman in all those playoffs games, and you have nothing to show for it because your defense hasn't come to play. Not one time has the Buffalo defense been able to stop anybody in the playoffs. Sean McDermott is a defensive coach. So when do we start looking at this thing in a year, in the offseason, where John Harbaugh is out? Because we've constantly said that Baltimore's had the best roster. They got a 2-time league MVP, and they have underachieved. Has the Buffalo Bills underachieved? Absolutely, because they got the best player in football.
They've won more games in this stretch than any team ever in a stretch of this length without playing in a Super Bowl. Shefty.
Well, first of all, Josh Allen turns 30 in May. So that clock is running right now, and it feels like they've had so many chances where they could have broken through, especially this weekend, and they haven't done it. So you raised the Sean McDermott question. They have not given any indication that they'll do anything. Now, that doesn't mean they won't, but in a year where John Harbaugh is let go, all of a sudden we ask this with most teams. But so far to Buffalo, there's no indication that anything will change. We'll see if that happens to change here in the coming days at all.
We are watching it closely. It was an unbelievable weekend, both AFC games with a crazy storyline. Unbelievable game last night at Soldier Field, and so the Bears' miracle run, as D. Wood put it, comes to an end. A couple of big picture ways to look at this. We'll get to the Rams and Seahawks in a minute. For those who are just joining us here at the half hour, the interception at the end by Caleb, really more a function, and you guys broke it down extraordinarily well, but in brief form, that's really a miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. It's not solely on the quarterback.
No, the quarterback thinks the receiver is going to come flatter or closer to the line of scrimmage. The receiver actually thinks the quarterback's going to throw it more down the field. Happens at the same time. It's also a great play by the safety.
So we sit here and we say to ourselves, the Bears, were a year ahead of schedule. They knocked out their hated arch rivals in a playoff comeback win the week before, and they lose a hard-fought game against a team that many people think is the best in the entire NFL. A massive success of a season, no matter how you slice it. The question is the ship just going in this direction, or in your opinion, is there cause for concern that maybe it isn't all moonlight and roses?
This could be like the Commanders of last year.
Could be.
It could be. Could be like Commanders of last year. Because so many things broke the Bears' way this past year. The turnovers, leading the league in takeaways. That's not sustainable. Okay, Caleb Williams and the fourth quarter heroics. That's not necessarily sustainable. And so when you look at this Bears team, there's things that you like. Need to build upon. Need to build upon the defense. As well as the Bears' defense played yesterday, they didn't play well this year. Okay? Caleb Williams, we talk about all the special plays that we saw. We saw a special throw in this game, but he misses too many singles. Like, he has to clean up his game and become a much more consistent quarterback. And, oh, by the way, you talked about it in the meeting this morning. They're going to be playing a first-place schedule.
First-place schedule.
And it's a different animal.
Oh, hell yeah. The best team in that conference might have been the one that didn't make the playoffs. And you don't think the Lions are going to come out hungry? Like, oh, man. And I mean, I just look at it this way. Look, obviously a very successful season, incredible success. Why? You got the coach. You know, you got the face of the franchise, the coach right. You got the quarterback right. Okay, we get that. Those are the two questions coming in. A rookie head coach, you know, a second-year player that there were questions on. Right now, you know you've got a special player there. So there's a lot of positive things. But don't think for a minute you're just going to go right back because you're the mighty Chicago Bears. Yeah. The mighty Detroit Lions are going to sit back and say, we beat you both games this year. The Green Bay Packers are going to say, we're going to get Micah Parsons back. The Minnesota Vikings, they got a hell of a coach of their own. So to me, it ain't going to be easy, and especially with that first-place schedule.
It all broke the Bears' way this year. Saying that, when you watch Caleb Williams make the plays that he did last night, there were throws that he made that no other quarterback can make. There were runs that he made last night. And weren't you the one that said it's going to take a little bit of time before Caleb Williams learns Ben John? So next year, I would think he should be even better and more comfortable in the offense. The challenges in front of the Bears will be difficult, more difficult than they were this year. They will have the first-place schedule. They will not get all those turnovers that they got on defense, but they still have that quarterback and they still have that head coach.
The Bears need to operate this offseason like they won 5 games.
Right, I agree with that.
Okay, quarters 1 through 3, they were outscored over the course of the season by 19 points. Outscored. And they made it to the divisional round because of those fourth quarter heroics and game-winning drives. You cannot allow the result of those games and the magic of it to overshadow who you really are. If they don't attack this offseason the proper way, because the Commanders did it this year. The Commanders had the fourth quarter magic last year, and they thought they were one play away from making it, or one player away from making it, and you weren't. You lied to yourself. And if the Bears go about it the same way, they'll be exactly the same place as Washington. They have to have an attack mindset because they aren't as good as their record says they are, but they have a great foundation for their future.
All right, we'll leave it there for the moment because I want to make sure we get a chance to get to what happened on Saturday. This certainly was the most talkable thing this weekend. Monday Mayhem brought to you by